I just think that in reality, you gotta have common sense along with book smart. You gotta have common sense. If you don't know not to put your hand on this damn stove because it's hot, that means you have no common sense. It's hot. You know you don't supposed to put your hand on it.
What we're seeing, what's going on is, unfortunately, you have a lot of fathers in prison, right? We were programmed early on, Mo, when the fathers couldn't be in the home, when our parents had to be on welfare. So we were programmed then. They was programming us then to take the man out the home, right? The head, the guy who's supposed to teach his son how to shave, tie his tie. Eye opener. This is for a conversation for with our kids and grandkids. Because if we pass it to our kids, they should be passing it down to their kids. But they're watching us, so we act out here acting a fool. Guess what's gonna happen? Who they learning from? Where they getting the information from?
You know what? This is exactly why the therapists or the counselors, my job becomes harder, because I deal with the men that are being taken, I'll say, addicted to something. Either to sex. They're addicted to sex. They're addicted to drugs. They have miscommunication. They're angry. They're angry at their fathers for not being in the picture. They're angry at the mothers for what the mothers couldn't provide. And I'm speaking from a mother that came from a marriage. So I was married and the husband left.
About black, I don't think it's for all cultures, but like dude said, man, women want the bad boy, they attracted to them. They're not attracted to the nerds or anything like that, because they made fun of them in high school. They had their own businesses, or they come up with new adventures, and then they probably think later on, I should have talked to him or something like that.
Yeah, I am.
But it's that's what they like, because they said in these rap videos, they said in the movie. So it's
like, I don't feel like police being in the area is the answer because of the tension. There's already problems. Like, if I see you, the first thing in my mind is to run, hide. They gonna search me, gun me down, Trayvon. I don't think that that's the answer. But
okay, Molly Moho, appreciate all y'all for tuning in as always. They got it a lot better than we had it growing up. We literally had to wait on daddy or mommy to hand us money or food stamps to go to the store. Now, and they can be all the way at work and say, "Mom, hungry, I need more money." Cash out right to your car and you good. So it's different times. So.
And we back. Hey Janice. Hey Dr. P.
Hey. Happy Wednesday.
Your mic muted, Jay.
Hello, everyone.
How y'all doing?
Great.
We're doing great. We woke up this morning, first of all.
In our right mind.
In our right mind. With all of our limbs.
In our right mind. Who we got in here so far? I see Treese in here. What up, Big D?
Treese.
Y'all get on in here. We got a good one today. We got some special guests. We got some history that we need to learn that don't be talked about enough, And not only we gonna talk about it, we bringing them into the show. So y'all be ready. Sit back, be prepared. Where Slicky at? Get everybody in here. Let's get everybody in here. Where you at, Kenny? Hey,
like and share.
Yeah. How you feeling down there in Houston? How the weather?
Oh man, it rained all last night, so I woke up this morning with a very, very bad sinus headache. So if y'all didn't see, I just took me a BC tablet, try to, get knocked on.
So get it together. Janice, what you got for us today? Because this all Jay right here. What you got for us,
Man, it's amazing when you run into people. When God orchestrate, and put people in your path. Hey, Kimberly. So y'all know the brother Stan, the man that's always in the show. He came by my boutique one day with the young lady, Miss Ray. We call her Miss Ray. Her name is Randell, right? Hype. I mean, I was just blown away by her personality, her youth, her energy, man. And I was like, man. And then I was like, wow, my mother died at 69. She's 69 years old. We've been hanging out like best friends, guys. Like, but I've always hung with older people. But I love it because she'll tell me, John, no. I came to her with some issues. I promise you, I was in a piss. I didn't know what to do. She was like, no, this is not what you're gonna do. Now this is what you're gonna do, right? These are the kind of people we must have in our circle.
Exactly.
Because it's helpful. Because I could have talked to the wrong person and then we'd have been suiting up. So it's amazing that God just orchestrated. Yeah. Orchestrated the whole thing. Hey, Nene, even Stan the man, I brought him to DC. At first I was a little concerned, man, because he's hyper, right? And he'll tell you, I told him, I said, don't make me have to kill you on this highway. I ain't lying. I would tell people that in a minute when you're in my vehicle, because now I can't move. I feel like I'm, what I'm saying, in a box. So yeah, I'm always gonna make sure I'm ready about something. But just knowing him, did not know his mother was a pioneer. And back in those days, man, wait till y'all get to hear. Well, Maul got a lot of the information, but I want to bring Miss Skaggs on. She marched with Martin Luther King. Who was some of the other ones you marched with?
Named Dick Gregory and one of them.
But Dick Gregory, number one. But let's bring Miss Randell Skaggs in, and she'll introduce herself. She's a really good. She told me I was a good friend. I ain't the best friend yet, y'all. I said I know that's right.
Stop. You the best friend.
So here is me. I'm gonna bring Miss Ray in, everyone.
Hey, Miss Ray.
Hey, Miss Ray.
Hi, how's everybody?
Oh, we're great.
Pleasure to have you on the show today.
Well, this is the first time I've been on the podcast.
And remember, it's not gonna be your last.
All right, I hope not.
You started with us. Why not?
Thank you.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about the history. We had you showed me a picture of yourself with with Dick Gregory. Mm-hmm. I was like, look at Miss Ray. So it blew my mind, right? So she just started talking about the hard times that they had, back in those times. So we got a pioneer right here, guys. I want her to introduce. This is Miss Ray right in front of
Miss Ray.
Dick Gregory. Wow. That's her, the little girl. This was in Americus, Georgia. So, Miss Ray, tell them a little bit about this picture and how you got here.
I was, my mother and I and my two sisters stepped off a bus in Americus, Georgia, in the 60s. And my aunt told me I had to use the bathroom. And she told me, you can't go in places here where you used to go. Because I was from Texas. Well, I didn't realize then, that was the first time I experienced prejudice or racism, right? I went to the wrong bathroom. Mm-hmm. So everybody was scared for me because I didn't know. I just went to the white folks' bathroom at the bus station. So after then, my sister, two sisters and I, we lived right next door to the Sneak House. We knew Jesse Jackson. We knew Abernathy. We knew Jose Williams. We knew all the boys. They were young kids then. And we used to sit on the side of the house so they'd give us quarters and nickels so we could go to the store and buy candy. Well, we grew up and we started knowing about what was happening in the world. And we became a part of the movement. Our uncle was John L. Barnum, and he was married to my aunt, which was Thelma Barnum in Americus, Georgia. Well, all of us,
Jimmy Carter.
all of us was Americus, Georgia is a part of Plains, Georgia, which is Sumter County, the county seat for Americus, Georgia. Okay, and Plains, Georgia. Well, we decided that we were gonna follow and look at everything in that was racist in that town. We being from another place and coming into it, we just became a part of the system. Well, one day they told us we were going to the Continental Forum. It was called the Continental Forum, and my cousin's grandmother told me, said, "Come in here for a minute." And I came in the room. It was 6 men standing up and 1 man sitting down. And he said, "Come here, little girl." I said, "Okay." So I came over there. He said, "What's your name?" I said, "Randell Skaggs." He said, "What do you want to be when you go?" Randell Thornton. "What do you want to be when you grow up?" I told him, "A judge." He said, "Well, we'll just have to see about that." And he pulled my plaque. And I'm looking, I'm saying, "Well, why is he sitting down and everybody else standing up?" Right? So later that day, we went to the Continental Forum and we were playing. My cousin, Dennis Barnum, and I was playing in the haystack. And I thought I found a needle in a haystack. So
Go on, Miss Ray.
So I went and I told him, I said, "Look, I found a needle in a haystack." While I was looking at it, I seen a man standing on the platform talking to the people. So I started listening to him. I said, "I just seen that man at Grandma's house." It was Martin Luther King. Wow. And I said, "I'll never forget the time that I met Martin Luther King." And that it made my whole life, because I knew what it meant to be free. And I knew what he meant. And it was just an enlightening thing. So I did find a needle in a haystack. And that was my life.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing, Miss Ray. You're in that picture. Yeah.
I was in the picture with Gregory.
And your grandfather was the pastor of the church?
No.
Okay.
I can't remember all the people that was in the picture, but my sister is in the picture.
Okay.
One of the guys that taught the King family children, his name was oh God, I can't remember. I'll tell you in a minute. But he was in the picture, and my cousin Lorena Barnum was in the picture. She's married to Darrell Sabbs, which was part of the administration in Washington, D.C.
Okay.
Okay.
So tell us a little bit, what was growing up in the segregation and during those hard times for African Americans? Because you were a little girl in this picture with Dick Gregory. That's wild to me. And you met Martin Luther King. I've never met any of those people. But I can just imagine the excitement in when you learn who he was. So what was the scariest thing though? Because in that picture, that was in 1963.
Right. Now, at that particular time, we didn't know we were going to be anything. We didn't know whether anything would happen in our lives. They say now that you have to go through mental training and things like that. No, we didn't have doctors and things to tell us how we were going to live and how we were going to grow up and do things. It was amazing. I was the first girl to integrate the elementary school, which was Reed's Park in Americus, Georgia.
You go, girl.
Hey, DJ.
I was a pioneer.
You are.
I am a pioneer.
Yes.
And I served in the war.
Wow.
And I just thank God for this opportunity to explain to all your listeners the things that happened to us. You know, I could remember the things.
Your sister's in the Smithsonian, Miss, right? Your sister's tell them
My
about
sister
sister
is in the Smithsonian. She was one of the 8 children or 28 children that was in the stockade in Americus, Georgia. I went to jail in Leesburg, which was in Leesburg also, but it was in the city jail. I had to stay 5 days in there, eating 3 hamburgers a day, and they give it to you in the morning, and you would have breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and they give all the girls in there 3 hamburgers a day. It was horrible.
That's good.
Yes, it
Real,
was.
What were you in jail for?
For marching.
Okay.
And all we wanted was books for the school. All we wanted to know was that we could go to school. I remember being pushed in the car, right? The police car going to jail. And the guy told me, I asked him, I said, "Sir, please don't kick me." And he didn't. I was so happy.
You were going to jail. Was this one of those that Woolworth protest that y'all was sitting at the counter?
No.
Okay.
Stan's mama was in Woolworth.
Okay.
And that was in North Carolina.
Okay.
We were in Americus, Georgia.
Okay.
And
well, we was in the gangster stuff in Greensboro, North Carolina. The Final Four also. So, right. You know what I mean? My mother contributed, and she's also in the Smithsonian. You know what I mean? Counselor, John Edwards, I don't know how many were old for that. John Edwards was the president candidate, good friend. My mom was friends with Maya Angelou and stuff like that. She's really strong on segregation, getting rid of that. She was the first Black woman to go to University of Greensboro, and that's great too. She could win the A&T or everything. She also pitched in on the Final Four as well.
Okay, Stan, 1 second. Let us get back to you once, because we want the viewers to talk to Miss Ray. Share, give her flowers, ask her some questions, and then we'll introduce your mom if that's okay. So, Ma, are there any questions? Anything for Miss Ray? This pioneer sitting here.
I got a million questions, but I'm gonna keep it short, because I just heard, what was y'all marching for? Then you said books.
We did not want used books. We wanted new books.
Exactly, and that's crazy because we still fighting for that today. And then another thing you said, y'all ain't need the doctors to tell y'all what to eat, or like y'all just knew what to eat. Them the times I'm trying to get back to. I just want to know, what do you think went wrong? Why do we depend on the doctors so much and not each other no more?
Well, we didn't have Black doctors in Americus, Georgia at that particular time. All the doctors were white doctors in the South at that particular time. This was in the 60s, y'all. Yeah. Everything was, they punished us by turning off the lights or the water because my mother worked for $15 a week in cleaning up somebody else's house. And we had to live off of that. We lived off of $15 a week. Okay, we burned coal. We put water in the bathtubs to wash our clothes and use the bathroom. Dang. We picked pecans up just to have lunch money. Believe me, it was horrible. But I would never change my life for anything because God blessed me with this life. And nobody can take that away from me. Nobody can take anything that God give you away from you because it was God made. I seen those things because God gave them to me. Okay, I look now and look back. Nobody can say that they met Martin Luther King. They went through their life without a doctor even trying to take care of you, like mental health or anything. We struggled through all of that. When I went to Dallas, Texas, after I left there, I hid myself. I hid myself until I graduated from high school and went to college. I hid it because I was scared that they would think that I was a prisoner. I mean, I was wrong for being in the civil movement. Until I was grown, I didn't realize that these things were important to all of us. Yes. I thank God for where I am now and what He's done for me in my life.
You've been through a lot, man. You've been going. Appreciate everything you've done. And, hopefully we can make it, that it wasn't for nothing. We can really fight back and get back to that movement that y'all already had in place, So I know we working on it, but it's going to take some more time. You got any questions for Dr. P? Because I told you I got 1,000.
Yes, first of all, I just want to tell you thank you for your services. And
thank you.
Tell you that I see that you're a woman of God. I'm a woman of God as well. And to know that, I'm a scripture person. So the Bible talks about He knew us before we were placed in our mother's womb. And to know that,
yes, indeed.
And that you're walking in your purpose and you're still fulfilling your purpose, is that I just want to congratulate you, because to me, that's considered to be you're chosen. And to be chosen to do what you did, even in that time period, is words can't even express, because you paved the way for people like me. I'm an activist myself in domestic violence, and so people like you is what encouraged me to push myself to go on, because I know all it takes is one person. And to hear your story, and to that you've met Martin Luther King, and all of the great things that you've experienced in life, and you take nothing back. That's the thing about when we know who we are and what our purpose is, we feel like we're fulfilling it and we're covered. And we know that whatever that purpose is, that's a testimony for somebody else to say, hey, this is what we need to continue to do. We're in a world right now that I always say in the last and evil days. And I see so much evil that's upon the earth. And I see that so many of us is forgetting what we're supposed to be doing. So my question to you would be, how can we get that generation to come back to be those movers, those shakers, that those, the younger ones like yourself was, that stood up, that, stood up for righteousness, or for, for right doing? What would it take this generation to start doing those things? Because it's power in unity. And so I seen that y'all came together as unified, whether it was to go to jail or whatever. Y'all stood on grounds of belief. This is what I want. I want to vote. I want education, get rid of segregation, whatever it was, y'all did it. And y'all maintained it. So what can we tell what advice can you give our youth now?
Togetherness. We got to get together. We cannot live in this life just like now. We need to fight for our rights. We need to fight for voting. The most important thing is to get the people out of there that are doing us wrong. I'm in Georgia, and I am in Warnock's district. I vote in every election. It's not a given to me. Not only do I vote in the big election, I vote in the small elections also. If we can get everybody to look at everything, you know, I look at it now and I say, God, if you give me a job to do, let me complete it. And then if you have someone out there that needs help, instead of trying to get them to do what you want them to do, ask them to look for God. And then ask them. Because, like I was telling Janice the other day, God give us certain jobs to do.
And I didn't want the job, Dr. P.
Oh, God. And I told her, I said, look, you can be stupid if you want to.
That's what she said.
But if God give you a job to do and you don't want to do it, he'll give it to somebody else. And look at you. The first thing you'll be doing is saying, I could have did a better job.
Exactly.
So,
yeah, but you know that day, this last week, like, right? So I came back, I said, Miss Ray, I did all of that after I humbled myself and said, okay, God. All right, God, I'm called 3 pastors. I was so conflicted, right? She said, you don't take the job, he gonna take it from you and give it. When she said that, I was like, oh, I didn't look at it that way.
Yeah.
Right? But this is really somebody that I could come to and talk about things, personal things,
our big sister,
and get
Ms.
what
Ray,
I
our
need.
Big sister. That's our big sister, Miss Ray, our big sister.
Yes, but she don't play with you either, y'all.
Oh yeah, that's what we need. We need people like you, and that's what I'm accustomed to. I respect my elders. I look up to those. I still say yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. You know, and I believe in the older women teaching the younger women. And I even at 50 something years old, I'm always available to listen. So everybody, how some people will say like, you think you know everything, and I'm like, no, I don't. You think I know everything, but I don't. And so I just thank you for your courage. I thank you for your walk. I thank you for your testimony. I thank you for your obedience. And I thank you for your love for God and for your people. And to see you standing here with us today to tell us something that we know that this was purpose for this very moment to hear.
Hey, Miss Doctor.
Miss Doctor.
Can I reply to a question? Hello, can you, Miss Doctor? Both of them are two positive women. They're strong. You don't meet two strong women at one time. You know what I mean? So that's
we
what
gotta
it
keep
is.
you in line, so we gotta be strong.
See, Molly, ain't no Molly. It wasn't me. Yeah, y'all go ahead, but that was good, Miss Ray. I love you. That was good. Jan, I love you. So I need some jungle boy in there.
Okay, Maul, we want to talk about, can you pull up some of those clips I sent you on Stan? We call him Stan the Man. But I met Stan one day in my boutique. My brother brought his son up there to get his hair cut, right? And then he came back down. I'm hearing go-go music. I'm like, I go to the door. I was like, what? So he was like, man, Stan is from DC, y'all. He lives here, right? So I'm like, man, it was just a connection, not knowing it would lead me to Miss Ray, right? But it was just a blessing, Stan, to meet you, even though, I'm your mentor, right? Your big sister.
Hey, you doing too much,
but
man.
You know how that goes sometimes. They want to fight the hand and feed them, right? But anyway.
You fucking me like that, Jack. Money more.
Man, we're gonna have to show these people a little bit, so they can know a little bit about moms. I'm gonna show about a 3-minute clip, and then I'm gonna stop it, so y'all can know a little bit about her background. She did a lot of things out here, her and Miss Ray, and I wouldn't known this if it wasn't for this show today. That's why I said this is history that should be talked about more. Y'all check this out and let us know what y'all think.
Don't make that. Let me see my mommy.
Aww.
Mama start crying like a little broad.
The civil rights movement of the 1960s offers a unique opportunity to explore communication theory. Certainly themes of ethics, persuasion, and rhetoric all surfaced during the struggle for racial equality and equal opportunity. Here in Greensboro, the efforts of the Greensboro Four and other African American men who took part in the Woolworth sit-ins are often credited with setting the stage for this era of social protest and activism. Yet often overlooked is the fact that a number of African American women also participated on the local levels to organize grassroots support for civil rights goals and objectives. They marched, they protested, they too spent time in jail. Through their courage and persistence, the women were often able to transcend societal boundaries imposed by gender and class and emerge as leaders in their own right. To this end, they sought to increase opportunities not only for themselves, but for all people. This film project is a collection of oral histories with 4 Greensboro women who played a pivotal part in this chapter of the city's history. Their examples of organizational strategy and participation help us to better understand this period and sheds light on how each woman has emerged into a community leader today. Claudette Burroughs White, now a Greensboro City Councilwoman, was one of only 4 African American students attending Women's College, now UNCG, in the early 1960s at the height of the movement. She recalls her experiences at Women's College, reminisces about her friendship with Franklin McCain, one of the Greensboro Four, and reflects on how her experiences during that time have impacted her ongoing community involvement.
Because one of the feelings you have, or that I had in 57 throughout my college years, was that when I would be around my friends, that everybody knew about A&T and Bennett and Howard, but nobody knew about Women's College, and so it made me feel isolated because I was a part of that school rather than a part of the schools that were so well known among my African American friends. I'm certainly a person who believed that women hold up the world. And I personally believe that probably the greatest planning and imagination and creation and creativity that went into this probably came from women. And, I think and even Franklin, I tease Franklin McCain right now because his wife was right there at Bennett. And I always tease him and say, you just beat them to the punch because they were coming to. It was just a matter of who got downtown first. So in order to change and really impact or to have the greatest impact, you need to be at the table with folks that make the decisions about your life. So that's how I got interested in politics. Because everybody's always sitting somewhere in the room deciding what's going to happen to you. And and that if, in fact, you really wanted to change the world, that was a great place to try to get to. So that's kind of what, moved me to where I am right now. And I'm a grassroots person, grassroots community. I know people. As a social worker, I learned to listen and to understand and to appreciate what people and their problems were. And so here I am. And I think that if there's any strength to what I bring to my job as a councilwoman, it's just having a good feel for the community, knowing a lot of people, and hopefully being a good listener. And so that when I get to these tables where decisions are made, that I can really represent how people feel and bring that kind of background experience to it. Because you see, many of us believe in the Bible that says God hadn't given us the spirit of fear, and that we were doing what we were called to do as a part of this entire movement. But and together, see, we in our high school, I can remember our NAACP youth group and so forth. We just, and the Angela Smiths who said, y'all can just do what you want to do, but do it together. And that's the kind of way we had to do things. It really made a difference.
All right, look. Okay, we're going to do this thing, man, in about 5 minutes.
Hi everyone, this is Anu from Jane Jewelry Network. Don't miss the Tom Moe Show, Monday through Friday, 1 to 2 p.m. And guess what? On Wednesday, you also get another viewing from 9:30 to 10:30. Don't miss it.
Welcome to the Tom Moe Show. Yeah, you know. Welcome to the Tom Moe Show.
Now they asking that you. Now they asking.
We back.
Stan Burroughs. Wow, brother. I did not know any of this when I first met you. And if I did, I'd have been on your back much harder than I am
Both
now.
y'all
You
to
know
the
that.
side, y'all, you and my sister, y'all on my back every day. So you forgot? Huh?
No, no. I would have had
I'm
more
saying,
leverage on you back then.
I'm saying crying like a woman, but I
You
miss my mother. I'm
crying? It's
sorry.
all right. You was crying the other day I came over here. It's all right. I cried too. We all
Yeah, I miss my
all of us
mother,
have
man,
lost
for
our
real.
mothers. So I was over here one day and a song came on and I had a breakdown. Miss Ray had a breakdown. You had a breakdown. We're human.
Yeah.
Hey, Marley. Hey, so this body, I can't say Clyde, but with Miss Ray and Janice, Bonnie and Bonnie, they ain't no joke.
But
But I can't
You
say
must be
Clyde, they
glad.
ain't no man. For real, man. There's so much knowledge, Marley, that they build in here, man. I'm truly blessed to know both of them.
Yes. So Stan, tell us about your mother. Tell us what you remember, right? She was a pioneer, man. She was out there getting it and she was doing the right
Okay,
thing for the right reason.
what I remember is she did that Greenville thing, with the Woolworths and stuff like that. And she's always been an advocate. You know what I'm saying? John Edwards, I don't know if people remember from not trying to go for president. I mean, yeah, it's so much she did. I really can't. It's not really self-explanatory. I love her to death. That's
How
my
did
mother.
growing up in those times with doing the segregation and racism with your mother who was on the battlefield? How did you
My mother went
take
to
that in?
listen. My mother went to UNCG, University of Greensboro, the first black woman to go there. My mother's in the Smithsonian
Be
from the
still, Stan. Making me
what?
dizzy. Be still.
Broccoli phone.
I mean, I can move where I want to move.
Oh my goodness. See.
Now, but for real, man, my mother did a lot of things, but she was just like so much on building the black people, get them back to their day. She was a probation officer. She's like look out for a lot of kids. You know what I mean? But she was just straight up on that black thing. You know what I mean? And she did. She in the Smithsonian. That she did. So that's what's up.
Okay. Any questions for Stan?
I love when his mom said, women hold up the world. I just thought that was amazing because I do believe that as well. I believe that we are the backbone. I say that a lot. And also just knowing that she also was a woman of God, because her statement stating that God hasn't given us the spirit of fear, power, love, and a sound mind was the rest of it. And just to know that, like I said, to know that there were people that was here before us, and what to me, what we need to be doing is like what God told me was to pass the torch. That everybody has a world, and there's certain things that we have to learn what our purpose is. Why did God create us? Why are we here? And to see that people can do it like your mom, and do it with integrity, and not be afraid to do it, not have fear, says a lot, because I think that's what stops us now from doing things that our minds say we want to do, but stops us from doing because we have that fear. We're afraid of being locked up or going to jail or getting killed, or but it takes when you become an activist, you have to stand for something, or they say you'll fall for you.
Exactly.
My
So
my girlfriend told me, she said, Waydell, you were a John Major for justice.
yes.
And I thought that was so unique for her to realize how far we've gone and how much we've gone through in
Yes.
our lives to get to this point, to get to this point. We're not there,
Right.
and we're not perfect. And not only did Stan's mama do a whole bunch of jobs, I did a whole bunch of jobs. You could not, I mean, from bail bonding to managing apartments to real estate. It was, you had to be multi-purpose person, a, a woman of color. Right. You had to be a housewife and work in the field. And whatever field that paid you the money, you had to do it. My mother worked for $15 a week.
That's right.
And we had to live off of that. We had to live off of that. Not only did she made $15 a week, right? We went to an integrated school. The lady that she worked for fired her because her children participated in the marches of that time.
Okay, that's the kids. Okay.
It to think that we are not human is the thing that hurts me, and that God is in control. Because I thank y'all for letting me tell my story today. Otherwise, I'd have took it to my grave.
Miss Ray, Miss Ray, Miss Ray, Miss Ray, Miss Ray, Miss Ray. That's my big sister, y'all. That's all. Her and Jan's my big sister. Even by them all, they ride or die women.
By this being Black History Month, Miss Ray, what would you want to say to the young folks that don't know their history, don't know Martin Luther King's story, how they was beaten at the bridge in Alabama, for trying, when they crossed over? What would you say to the young folks that are watching today?
Well, I tell you, when they say that they don't want to learn our history, they don't want to learn the truth. It's a such thing as when they said that Black people had tails. Well, my nephew, all these years ago, he told me recently how he had a Mormon friend, and the Mormon friend told him that he didn't take it that way. He took it as a homonym. Black people have tales. We can tell them things about the past that they didn't know. And that, it is when they went to the Germans and told them that we had tales, it meant that we had a story to tell.
Wow.
So, you look at it as a homonym instead of a tail in your rear end. Right. Okay? Yes, people have tails. We have so much history and regular, because a lot of us have hid it so that we won't have to deal with it. So that nobody will know that we went to jail. Nobody will know that we struggle in our lives. Nobody would know those things. And they were glad that we hid it, because they are trying to hide it now. Right. Just imagine, how can you not hide slavery?
Right. Miss Ray, would you say that has a lot to do with, I can say, the generation before me, my mother's siblings? There's a lot of things. I feel like I'm a generational curse breaker or cycle breaker. And I talk about everything that was supposed to be like hush hush. And do you think that's, how society still is these days? Because I'm up against that. I'm up against people trying to tell me, like, don't talk about this or don't talk about that. But I know that's a healing. That's how I get my healing. So what would you say about that? Is that something that you feel people are still not doing? Because you said today was your first day really being able to tell your story.
Yes. Really, to tell you the truth, I looked at Miss McCain when she told Obama to walk in her shoes. Well, he may can't, but I can. I can walk in his shoes, her tennis shoes, her high shoes, and her flip flops. Okay, because I've been there and I've done that. I have walked in the war. I have fought in the war. I have went to jail and everything else. I look at them now and say, hey, pull your pants up. Do something with yourself. Don't be hiding. Don't hide your history. Be history. You know, that's the thing. You got to be history. You can't hide history.
I love that.
Because if you don't use it, you'll lose it.
You wrote your book?
I wish I could. Me and Janice was talking about that.
What you waiting on? I can help you with that. I wrote 16, and it doesn't take all that.
I would love for you to help me with that.
I definitely can do that.
Well, thank you. This is the beginning of the rest of my life.
Oh yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Yes. Ma, anything over there from you, Ma?
Oh, I'm just soaking it in. You know, I just love hearing the stories, the old stories. Definitely when they were saying how people had tailbones, you know, because that's basically what they were saying. We did have tails. We had all the stories. But now they took them stories, flip it the way they want to flip, and they put them in books. So people don't believe the stories that was told. So if I tell a story like my ancestors, they just say, oh, you lying, because it's not in this book. It's not in that book. Exactly, because we always passed our stories down through tongue. You know, we ain't write things down. You know, it was passed down like that. So it was good to hear. It just like always feel like, you know, a lot of the things I read was just a waste of time because most people I talk to, they be like, nah, man, that ain't true. That ain't true. This ain't true. But now just hearing, you know, the things that y'all went through, it's like, dang, a lot of them stories was true. And you one of the many of them that was out there on the front line that they don't talk about. Lately, they've been talking about a lot of people that was out there with Martin Luther King, but was part of the LGBTQ community. So they shining light on these people saying they couldn't shine light on them back then because we wasn't ready for them type of people. But it's like, why they not talking about you, Miss Ray? You know, why they not talk about Stan's mother and whoever was out there with y'all? I only think they talk about Dick Gregory enough. It's like if he ain't come on YouTube.
One question.
Yeah.
One statement. Also, remember Miss Ray is from where Jimmy Carter's from.
See, I didn't know that. You know, I'm learning.
Jimmy Carter is from my mother and we used to go to Plains, and the pictures that they showing today. My mother and them used to play guitar, and we had this man named Mr. Powell. He played the guitar, and my mother and his wife would sing right there where they got those pictures of them today of Jimmy Carter and the town, the downtown. It was all black then. They didn't want any part of Jimmy Carter. You know, that was before he was the president.
Wow.
You know, I thank God because he gave it to me. And that's something that they can't take away. They can't take away your memories. My sister spent 28 days in the stockade. And that was like
Miss Ray is called jail. Jail, Miss Ray, jail. Nobody know about stockade.
Jail. I mean, you know, and the things that happened there, my other sister had she had put on 2 sets of clothes or 3 sets of clothes and went to jail so that she can give my sister a change of clothes. Okay, little things like that we did. Okay, they did chicken baskets. They did chicken box. We were just happy to get food in the jailhouse. You know, we were young. We filled those jails up. and got our rights. Now, if y'all let them go, that's on you. We've already tried to do everything and give you all the things that we thought would be necessary for you to grow up.
Yeah. Miss Wright, how do you feel now? A lot of this generation feels when it comes down to us voting, especially our community, that we don't make a choice. Our votes don't count. How would you say for somebody who represented, who had to, to march for us to get the right to vote, would you have?
As a black woman, you got to do 2 times more than everything else. Okay, we gotta do it 2 times better. If you gonna vote, get your brother, your sister, your cousin, your aunt, get everybody to vote.
Make me go, baby.
Don't be shy, because they're not shy. When they stand in the line, they're not shy. Don't be afraid. Keep standing. I love to go and vote, and I love to stand in the line. I just hope that everywhere that we still stand in the line, because if it was for Miss Green Taylor, like they said, we'd be going back 20, 30, 40 years.
And this is Marjorie Taylor. Remember, I was talking about her a couple of weeks ago.
Right? And she's from North Georgia.
Wow.
Okay? You know, I look at people now and say, well, are you the one when I was in school? Are you the person that tried to beat me down? You know, are you the one?
Yeah.
You know, that that did me wrong.
Yeah.
And now you don't want nobody to know it.
Well, I just want to tell you congratulations, and your story is amazing. And look forward to helping you write your book and getting that book out there, because you do have a story, and God have literally purpose, like Janice says, divine connection. It was for a time such as this, and to see what God have done through you, with you, and to see what's going to come because of you. I mean, I know it has enlightened all of us on today. And I definitely know that a lot of this was empowerment, especially for us women. And I just want to tell you, thank you for your hard work and your efforts. And it did pay off, and nothing was done in vain.
I tell you, I thank God and thank all of you, because this is the first time I ever had to tell it.
Oh man, you always welcome to this show, and and we appreciate you sacrificing your youth, and I started to see. I don't know if this is a trend or this becoming a thing, because you saying y'all was young when y'all was out there marching, going to jail. I don't know how y'all elders was treating y'all. Did y'all feel like y'all ain't know much? Y'all just not listening? Because it seemed like every set of generation is always young. Even the Black Panthers, them dudes, Fred Hampton, they was young, but they couldn't get a lot of the elders to follow them because they didn't believe that their way was the right way. And I'm starting to see that now. We the youth now, and a lot of our oldest people don't see our vision. They stuck in their way, don't understand that times change. And when the times change, we need everybody to follow the youth, but they still want us to follow them. So it seemed like that's the problem that I think that we had when y'all was in y'all youth. The older people ain't want to listen. And then when the next younger people came along, the older people, and now we hear the older people don't want to listen. They stuck in their ways. They think that it works the way that it was working when they was coming up, when it really don't. We need to work together. We really need to come together and start to help each other, instead of saying, no, this the way you need to do it. Or this the way we need, instead of just saying that, look, this the way that we need to do it. Because they using different things. That's why I think they always upgrade the technology, because a lot of people, I don't even like upgrading my laptops no more. I'm stuck in my ways now. Like, look, they can keep making the new stuff, but you got to learn it, because they going to switch things up, and we're going to take the youngins or the kids to let us to know, like, how you work this cell phone, because they going to find ways for you to vote. Now you can vote on Facebook. You can vote on Instagram. It's all types of ways that you can vote. You ain't got to actually wait in line no more. So that's the one thing I want to ask you. Did y'all have a problem with the elder people back in your youth? Because it seemed like that's always been a problem with us when we want change.
Of course, I can tell you when my sisters went to jail, I wanted to go to Hampton Park because that was what we did in the country. We went somewhere, went to a park somewhere where you couldn't swim until after the white folks got out of the pond. Yeah. Okay, got out of the water, and then we could go in there. Well, I had to get my hair combed. My mama didn't feel like combing my hair. She said, Billy Joe, Sandra. I said, Mama, Billy Joe in jail, Sandra in jail. She said, all my children in jail.
Just locking them all getting locked up.
I said, Mama, I'm right here.
Mom, I forgot you. Mom, right in your face.
Yeah. I tell you, it just little things. And if you laugh about it, you won't cry about it. Yes. And if you laugh, you say that I overcome that era.
Overcomer, yeah.
You got to overcome it. Just like he said, we shall overcome.
That's right.
We will.
Yeah.
Anybody in the audience got any questions for Ms. Ray before she get out of here? Because I see the comments coming and they definitely showing you love.
Okay. Not that. That's our name, but I was just wanting to know so I could read them to you if you couldn't.
I can't see it.
Okay.
We got a lot of.
I don't have my glasses on. I got them right here, but I don't have them on.
What's up, Rick? Miss Harrison here.
Hey, Earlene. They can take. It says that's right. They can't take away your memory. Sleep on it. Yes. Hey, Reese.
And
you made a way. Angela said you made a way.
Thank you.
They look for us not to show up and show out.
Yeah, they always do.
Yeah.
That's right, Mama Skaggs. You all paved the way so our walk could be easy. You become so entitled that we feel that we deserve that sidewalk.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Ooh, that was good.
Salute, Queen. That's from Rico.
Oh, thank you.
A great show, fam. This is perfect for Black History Month. That's Nene.
Oh, that's so wonderful.
And Kenneth said, Black History icon, Miss Ray.
Yeah.
Oh, that's my heart, y'all. Oh, thank you. I'm just crying.
Yeah, and Angela said, I thank you for your wisdom.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, they love it. They love it, Miss Ray.
All power to the people, Miss Ray.
Oh, that's so sweet of y'all. I thank y'all. This is the most blessed thing that has happened to me so recently.
Oh.
Thank you for sharing your living story. You about to make me cry.
I'm crying already. Because it's a true story.
It is. Angela said, we shall overcome someday.
We shall overcome.
Yes. And that's what I love the Martin Luther King when she started saying that, and we still.
Yes.
You are selfless, blessed. That's what Kimberly said.
Thank you. Oh, thank you. That's my heart.
Earlene said, yes, thank you. We appreciate you.
Oh, that's so good.
Yes, you always welcome to the show. You thinking of any of your other amazing stories you might want to tell, just come on and feel free to come on anytime. I love to hear the stories.
Oh yeah.
I've got a lot of them.
Well, before we go, you want to give the people encouragement for the day or for the week? Anything you want to lead the people with?
Yes.
Okay.
When God gives you strength to do anything or everything, He's not gonna take you around it, over it, or under it. He's gonna take you through it. You gotta go through it in order to say that He brought you through it. Okay?
Yes,
So
ma'am.
everything that you do, you go through it so that you can look back and say, God brought me through it. And
Yes.
that's my word. Go through it.
Go
Amen.
Don't,
through, get through it, man. We gotta get through it together. Dr. P, give her some energy before you go in the audience. You know they love you. Won't see you till Friday.
Okay. First of all, I just want to first give honor to God for allowing you to see this blessed day. And this was an amazing day. This was an amazing interview. It was amazing just to hear our history
our history.
told through somebody who actually lived it.
Yeah.
And it's amazing that, like I said, I'm so glad that you chose to fulfill your purpose and you're still walking in your purpose. I look forward to you doing bigger and greater things, even in this lifetime. And as well as letting the people know, like I always say, to live on purpose, with the purpose, and for a purpose. This is your girl, Dr. Purpose.
Dr.
Yes, yes, yes,
P.
yes. I
Well,
love that.
I appreciate you for coming on. I just encourage everybody who watching to hit the link in the comments. I put it up there. It's an article that you can learn a little more about Miss Ray and the things that they did. I put it up for y'all can see it. This is the article right here. And this right, Janet?
Let's see who it is.
The
Yes,
reflection. Yeah, this is
Yes.
it. And I put it in the comments so y'all
Yes.
can actually go read up on it. Y'all can
Yes.
learn a lot. And there's a lot of things that was going in the 60s. They just feel like 60s wasn't that long ago for real.
I know, right?
You know, we not that far from what was just going on, so let's just keep pushing forward ahead. Appreciate you. Please come back on. I ain't even gonna say you what we want you to come back on, Ms. Ray. We
I'll be
need you to
more
come
than
back
happy
on.
to.
Yeah,
I'll be more than happy to. I'll tell you some more about our history
yeah, yeah,
that maybe y'all didn't know.
yeah. Keep them coming. Definitely keep them coming. And you have a blessed week. Y'all be safe out there in Atlanta, cause them young boys crazy out there. We
Yes,
need to
they
get
are.
them help. But Janice, you gonna
wow, man, history. This was our, they gave us 1 month, 30 days to celebrate Black history. I
yeah.
don't know if it was for us or for them, right? But history says to me, his story. It's his story, right? It's God's story. But I like what you said. You said, don't hide history, be history.
Be history.
Right? So Miss Ray, we talking all the time. So but for the show, man, it's amazing that we can continuously meet new friends. I always tell people, no new friends, no new friends. I don't want no new friends. Right? And my daughter said the other day, didn't you say that about that lady? What's her name? I said Miss Ray. But the bottom line is because it's so people shady and shysty. Oh, so much is going on. You don't know who to trust. So I am grateful that God continuously put people in my life like you to get me on my track, say things I don't want to hear that my mother would say to me, right? So again, though, we are not alone. We're not an island. We need each other.
Yes.
And I know y'all keep hearing Stan say we Barney and Barney because we got to stay on him 24/7, right? So we coming for him. He know it all the time.
Man.
But it's out of love.
Yeah.
Everything must be out of love, guys. Love could change the world if we just start loving on each other and loving on our brothers and sisters. But life goes on. Black history is amazing, man. I learned so much. I learned so much. You blew my mind when I was sitting here talking to her. I was like, what? So, but anyway, we got more stories to come. My phone saying low mode. So again, guys, we got to continue walking this journey. He gonna give you a purpose. He gonna give us assignments. She got me straight real quick on the assignments. Because if you don't do the assignment, he gonna take it from you and give it to somebody else. Then you really gonna be saying, "Oh God, help me, Lord, what I do?" We go into that mode, and he looking like the man that was drowned. They was throwing the raft. They threw all these things out there. He kept saying, "I'm waiting for God to save me." Yeah, okay, the raft. Again, we got to use wisdom. Wisdom. We need wisdom to when we get out of bed. The first thing we get when we hit that floor, guys, just know the enemy busy. He ready for you. So just they prayed up. Let's pray up on each other, and let's cover each other, and let's move in love out here. Because love, man, could change the world, could change so many dynamics. But as I always say, because I love, I love, right? I love too hard. I've always been told that. But love, to me, love is self-awareness, right? Self-care, all these things that showing you love yourself, right? Self-awareness, self-care, right? Love on yourself today, guys. Be nice to yourself. Love on somebody else today. And as I always say, the self-care is giving the world the best of you instead of what's left of you.
Man, good show today. Appreciate it. We're going to do this again. I told you, whenever you want to come on, you always welcome on here with us. And don't forget, Stan the man. We appreciate you for coming on here and sharing that knowledge, man. We're going to put up Mom's picture for some of those who don't understand, man. She played a big role, her and Miss Ray, man. We really appreciate y'all, because if it weren't for y'all, we probably won't be where we are today. Every little thing
to remind everybody,
that's right.
This is living history. This ain't no play history. This is living history.
Yeah. Roll call. Who we had today, Janice?
Oh man. Yes, we had a nice crowd. We had Reese in here. Don't forget to check her out on her podcast. Morning Mac Show. Check out Reese crew. Yeah. We had Big D in here. Kimberly was in here. Nene came through here. DJ Slicky, Malik, Kenneth, Angie, and Tomo was in here. Rico. You have Louise in here and Miss Erlene. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Mom. Appreciate it. See y'all tonight, 9:30 to 10:30. Be right back on. Y'all already know we double up on Wednesday. Love y'all, Janice. Love you, Dr. P. See y'all. Y'all be safe.
Love you guys. Stay safe. And if nobody told you they love you today, we do. From this time to the next time. Peace. We love you guys. Stay safe and stay vigilant out here. Yes. That's Stan's mom.
Oh, that's so good.